here. I know who we're playing. I know where our league is, and let's go try to win this whole thing. All right, that was the entire goal. Guys are like, we want to beat this team and beat that team. I'm like, I do not care. Like, yo, all we want to do is at the end, be the last one standing in the city, have a ring, and be good. That's all we want to do. So that's the concentration. So I told them at the beginning, hey, look, I might bench you for a game. But why, coach? Because we're not super deep. We have 16, 17 dudes, and I don't need you playing until your legs fall off, and then all of a sudden, at the end of the year, there's nobody's left. Everybody's falling apart, and we don't have anything. So I made an effort. Sometimes you might just sit, right? Jefferson, you know what? You're going to sit today. Why? It's just because you're going to sit. So he just sat there and cheered the team on, and he understood. All right? I'm going to pull you out at half. Why, coach? Because you need to sit down and rest a little bit. Right? So I just be pulling guys, and they're like, but we can. I go, don't worry about it. We have a goal at the end, and they understood. Right when San Fernando hit, they understood what was happening, and we had full energy, everybody ready to go, and we started running from there. And it was a fantastic thing. So I appreciate the guys that they understood the vision and saw it too and said, this is what we're trying to go do. All right? And we went on to do it. So I'm going to call out individuals, and they're going to come up and they're going to get their certificate. I have a tradition, and the guys know it, but this is a bit of a weird year. Again, when you win, things change. So we won, and we had to concentrate on getting rings. So I wasn't really concentrating on the banquet. I wasn't concentrating on buying letters. I was like, every single dime we get goes to getting rings. And so it's an old tradition. I like it. It's kind of been lost, but they mean something to me. And so in lots of schools, lots of places, it doesn't matter if you're swim, soccer, robotics, whatever, you get a letter, right? You get to put it on whatever you want to put it on. And as you do things, you add in soccer ball, you add in the varsity bar, you add in track wings, you add in cross country, whatever you do, so it represents your little map of your high school. And you can put it wherever. You can put it in a frame when you get older. I have 2 of these from my 2 different high schools I went to. I still have it. One of them, as a matter of fact, I don't know. But it's green and yellow, and it's faded, and it has a stain on it from something I dropped on it, but it's mine, and I remember what I did with it. It's right. I have another one. It's a big G from the first high school I went to. Played soccer and basketball there. I earned it. And it's an important thing to me, and it's something that like some schools have lost, and we have a very distinctive R, and they put a lot of work in, and deserve to have it. Now, not everybody, and when you get to the varsity, that's when you get that letter. Last year, some guys didn't pick theirs up, so I lost track of who has it, who doesn't have it. So I'm not going to give them out today, but we'll give them out as we. I need to make sure we get the money for the rings. Okay. We're missing some guys, so I'm going to talk about who's here. And the guys that aren't here, they'll have to just come see me. This player is a 2nd-year varsity player. He was solid. It's people say solid, and it's like, oh, that's great. No, solid and dependable, meaning that not just me, and this goes for a lot of guys. I can repeat myself a few times, but you could put him in at a position, no complaints. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to play defense as hard as humanly possible. At one point, I think he got hurt. We put him, he hadn't played in a while, threw him back in there. He gave everything he had a weird off game, and we're like, it'll be fine, he hadn't played in a while. And then the next game, he was right back on. And he was just every single day. And, we kind of joke a little bit because his ankles are beat up, his knees are beat up. I got a thing here, coach, I got a thing here, coach. And it's a joke because we always laugh about it because he's kind of always beat up. But when he goes in the field, he doesn't play like he's beat up. He just gives to the team. He always gives to the team. He doesn't really play with an ego. I mean, we'll talk and he laughs about it, but really he plays for the team. And it's something, his sacrifice and how he beats his body up, but for the guys is something that I respect a lot, and the guys do too. Wilmer. And the guys this year, and the varsity guys get a little championship pin to add to that too, because it's rare to be able to get that out. I've given them out, I think this is my 2nd time, so that works out too. This player, it's funny because we won this year because of so many elements. And it wasn't a situation where you have some years where you give it to that guy and let him just run through everybody. I'm like, okay. But we play in a league, and we play in a division, and we play in the city. Nobody can really do that, right? Coach Manny's had teams, and he's won, and it wasn't just one guy running through anybody. You can't do that here. It's an impossibility. He usually starts from the back going forward, and we knew that if we knew we had the ability to connect balls and put the ball in the back of the net, but we needed somebody in the back to make sure that, save us when we needed to. And at some point in this year, the trigger went off in his brain, and he decided, I'm in charge back here. Right? I'm in charge back here. I'm gonna do everything I can to save us, but y'all gotta work in front of me. And, asking for it, and then it finally just triggered, and he was like, I fear no man, I don't fear any of you, do what I need you to do. And when we made that decision, we got better, and we got better quickly. And there's about 3 or 4 games where he literally just saved us. Period, end of story, bang, that was it, game over, let's get out of here. And he rode that all the way through the end. And it was amazing. As his game rose, everybody else also rose to protect him, because that's their job. So when they see him, I'm going to be here, I'm taking one in the face, I'm taking one in the neck, then you better respond in kind. And so it lifted us from the back going forward. Hector Monroy. He literally took one, I think, in the neck and the face one game, and I was like, save.
He took 3 to the,
And they were like, all right. And I didn't know until after. I thought he's like, it was 1. He's like, oh, coach, it was 2. I was like, all right, well, the ball didn't go back in. And that's when you have a keeper that believes in that mindset of whatever it takes, I'll do it. It really does echo through everybody else. It's tough when you're a young player on a team, and you have to, and you don't know how much time you're gonna get. You may get 80, you may get 5, you may not play that day just because you are young. I might say, hey, you're gonna go and play 6, you're gonna go play 8, you're gonna go play 10, you're gonna play wing. Oh, okay, right? And as calm as a person as he is off the field, he's this close to getting a yellow card pretty much always at all times, right? He's willing to go and run through a dude. He's willing to go and, but you touch my guy, and like it's so weird because I see him in his regular life and he's just not that guy. Soccer field, he's willing to just run through, and like all of a sudden he wants to beef up, and I'm like, who got the yellow? They're like, it was Neil, right? And I'm like, oh, Neil got the yellow. They're like, yeah, coach, man, he was okay. I couldn't tell, but he's willing to come through and defend his people. And when again injuries come in and everything else, he played big minutes and played tough and helped keep our middle wherever I put him. And then, yeah, coach. Yes, coach. That was it. Neil. Every team, look, you need a team full of tough guys. But it's also nice when your tough guys are also guys that bring the humor and know exactly how the timing is. We'll be in a meeting, and for some reason he'll do a thing, and it never annoys me because it's always the right time. Everybody laughs. Everybody likes being around him. He brings that joyous thing, but he also brings a whole lot of skill, real soft touch for being a big old bruiser, and he'll put people in the dirt, but at the same time pick the ball up and have this beautiful pass and deliver it, easily. And always got a good nature. Again, like everybody else, got his body beat up, but did what he could. If it's 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, 80 minutes, and he always sacrificed to try to get the ball out. But again, good-natured dude. Even today, he showed up, in the cowboy hat. Sura. All right. This player played, it's funny, he's young, but he played 24 games. And I didn't realize until I looked at it. He was the most automatic lineup, one of the most automatic lineups we had for a young guy. It was just like, we all knew, his lineup, and he's there. He's there. And it's a lot to handle when you're young, and ask some of these guys that are seniors now, when you're young and you have juniors and seniors next to you, and they're like, you need to do your job. And you're like, okay, and I understand. And it's a lot of pressure to be the young person on a line full of big, strong dudes who know what they're doing, who are like, this is it. We're almost done. You have to perform. And he kept performing and kept performing and kept performing until we get to a playoff game and he hits this wins, no angle, top shelf, whatever else. Every time he does something like that, the ego inflates, but we're all like, well, we have to live with it because he really did that play. I just saw something online where he chipped it over some dude and come on the other side. But that goes with confidence. But the idea though is that his confidence fuels us too. Without his confidence and how he plays, we would not be the same. He has to have that confidence to go make that tackle, to make that pass. To talk to one of the older guys and say, hey, look, this is not what we're doing. We have to do it this way. This is what's required. This is what Coach is talking about. And to be a sophomore and speak up like that is a big, big deal. And he's 100% right. And to be able to speak up for himself too. Stuff happens. Hey, look, I'm not going to tolerate that. It's not going to be how it's going to be. So that is good for our future going forward. So when we have someone like that, strong like that, and can perform like that with all the pressure of all the older guys on his neck, it's a big deal. Miguel Camarena. This one is it's a big deal, right? Because you have a player who comes out and didn't play a lot of games for us this year. But one of the cool things was that he, even when, okay, look, can't play right now, all right, no problem. How can I come out and help? So if we were in games, he came out, he'd help. Hey, how can I set this up for you, Coach? What do you need, Coach? What do you need, Coach? Home game, every time. I need this cleaned up. Oh, no problem, Coach. No ego, just how can I help the guys? All right, on the bench cheering for the guys. Then get closer to the playoffs, and we need guys at practice. We need guys really giving them good looks. We need guys that come out here and fly around. And to know you're not going to play. I'm not going to play. But I'm going to come out and give my full effort every single day, to the point where I had to be like, sometimes like, hey, don't hit anybody. I mean, you're going to playoffs, so nobody can get hurt. But he would come with that happiness and that bounce and that energy every single time. And sometimes we'd have him, marking Jeff, which was good. So Jeff would get a look, and I'd tell him, don't hit Jeff. Right? Don't bump Jeff. Don't hit his ankles. Don't do anything. Just mark him up. And he would come every single practice knowing that I'm not going to get in the game, but it doesn't matter to me. I just want them to be good. I want them to be successful. And he did it with a good nature every single time. What's way? Hey, it's a very hard thing to do, to know you're not going to go play and to give that energy every time. Understanding that, he wants from nothing, I want them to be good, but we don't win without that effort. Right? We don't win without, guys, because I can't have I had guys that had to rest that practice. I think he had a knee issue, and I'm like, you can't be in there, so I need somebody else to go do the job. I'll do it, Coach. Play in the mid, I'll do it, Coach. Go play the wing, I'll do it, Coach. Right? So just to help the guys. Right? So that's a big deal. So it's always fun when you, as a coach, when you have a player that once a game, now I think I said it last year, but it doesn't change. Once a game, at least once a game, sometimes twice a game, he'll do something that doesn't make just our bench jump out and stand out and do something. The other bench will stand out and, oh, whoa. And I'm like, see, when you get the other bench to respond to our players, making their players look silly, that's a big deal. And it happens every single game. And it's such a fun thing to watch because his confidence when he's on the ball, and it's not trying to press hard and fly down the field. It's all subtle. You guys are falling over themselves and looking ridiculous, and it's fun to watch. And I never could play like that, so it's always really, really fun to watch. I played center back, so it wasn't like something I was doing. But when you have that kind of technical ability and the ability to see the whole field and the ability to feed your teammates, it makes everybody better. So when we get the ball from the back, it can get to his feet, and then we're off. And the guys don't just wait and go, well, I wonder what he's going to do. They know, ball's at his feet, let's go run. He's going to go feed somebody, and we're going to go be successful. I need him to take more shots now because he has the ability to do that too. And finally, I think close to the end of the year, started taking some shots in the tournaments, and so he has that ability. But his first touch and his technical ability and the way he sees the field is absolutely fantastic, and it helps us greatly, and it's going to help us again next year. Motto. this player has come a long way. All the skills they were just there. I remember seeing them early on. And then we went through last year, we played well and up and down a little bit. And this year he came to me and he had an absolute goal. I want to work on my confidence. I'm like, thank goodness, because your skills are ridiculous. When your confidence is locked in with those, it cancel Christmas, right? And we made a joke this year, and so everybody's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. We made a joke this year because we were early in the preseason and guys were at club and guys were missing. And we're like, hey, I'm like, I need a left back. And we threw him at left back. And so it was the most hilarious thing ever. He's playing left back, ha 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 ha. But he started playing good every practice, shutting guys down. And then we started making a joke. Hey, coach, if we ever need a left back, he's like, no way, no man, wait. Well, the funny thing is, he became a ridiculous outside back. He still played wing, but he always played it with that, I'm going to kick the ball from you. It doesn't matter if I'm 80 yards to the field or I'm in my own goal, I'm going to take the ball from you with confidence. And then, doesn't matter if he's in the back or the front, I'm going to make something good happen with it offensively. He became a key because no matter what happened, if something went down, I could put him in 4 different spots instantly and he just went to work. And it was funny because he fights it, but I'm like, but you're really good at it. I mean, we don't win in San Fernando without him absolutely just laying waste to those guys. They had no idea what to do with it, to the point where they were talking all the mess in the world. And I was wildly impressed because the stuff that we're saying, and you guys played, the stuff they were saying gets to the point where it's like, it's too much. And he was like, well, that may be so, but our job is to come here and beat this team. So I'm going to keep my calm and keep my composure and make sure that they understand that we're here to beat y'all. We ended up beating them. It's a fantastic game, one of the best wins in Reseda history, quite frankly. And it was because he kept his composure, would not be set off in any other way than I'm going to destroy you. That's it. We talk at halftime. He goes in half, comes out dancing, and we just continue on and keep beating. And he had a fantastic year, wing and back, but he could switch just like that and without fail. Never had it in 2 minutes to even get used to it. Just bang, perform. So his confidence that he wanted to work out at the beginning of the season, he worked it out just fine because we don't win without that confidence. All right, so everybody started working on their thing, and he worked on his all year, and it turned out to be fantastic for us. William Oakdale. So this player, it's kind of hard to describe. You meet somebody who comes out, has a really good season, right? And you're like, man, that was a really solid season. I challenge you, to be better. All right, comes back, clearly better. First game of the season, he had a hat trick. It's fantastic. And I remember sitting there going, I feel bad, but I'm going to have to talk to this dude real quick. I'm like, hey man, I know you had a hat trick, but you should have kind of had 5. I'm not trying to be picky. I'm just saying that, that's the level, that's how good you are. You had 3, you could have had 5, you should have had 5. He said, okay, coach. That's his answer to everything. Okay, coach. And then I think we played, I'm not sure if it was the next game or 2 games later. I think the next game, I don't remember. Yeah, and he rolls out, and I think he got 5. He only didn't have more because I told him to stop scoring. And he comes off at halftime. Is that good, coach? I said, yes. All right, so he got his 5. And the cool thing about him is there are games where he had 3 or 2 or whatever, and his teammates, hey, coach, put him back in. We want to get him 1 more. All right? I had multiple teammates. Coach, we want to get 1 more. Coach, can we get him 1 more? So 1 game, we want 1 more. No problem, all right, go back in. But we're destroying this team. Hey, you got 5 minutes. He had 3 opportunities in those 5 minutes to get another goal. He passed all 3 of them to try to get assists. That right there, I'm about to get choked up actually, because it's just the essence of what makes teams good. He has 3 opportunities to get a hat trick, and he passed all 3 of them up to try to get his teammates' goals. That's different. And it's different for him, but it makes it so that a guy can do that and score 44 goals and lead the city in goals. And remember, these aren't goals just against busters. He did that against D1 teams, he did it against D2 teams, D3 teams, D4 teams. It doesn't really matter. All right? And you can only do that when your team is behind you. He wasn't picking the ball up and going 80 yards with it. He'd pass up. He also had 12 assists or whatever it was, some ridiculous number of assists as well. He had 100 points total. Okay, so what's 12 assists, right? 44 goals, 12 assists. Because he's feeding his teammates. But his teammates like feeding him too. Because they know, hey, look, I'm doing my job, but his job is to go fill the net. So if I can get him the ball, I know he'll fill the net. So they have confidence in him. That's a big deal. Because I've seen teams crumble under less. Guy scores 10 goals, and guys are like, where's my opportunity? They're like, I'll get my opportunity whenever it comes. But we're going to feed this dude, because that'll be it. That's good for us. And we knew our offense was going to be our best defense. Teams are going to start chasing us if we can put the ball in the back end net. And he took it seriously. 80% of the things he shot weren't on target. That's a ridiculous number for the amount of shots he took. He scored 76 goals this year. He had 44 of them. Right? And I never felt like he was ever pressing to score goals. He just did his job. Everybody else did their job. And it just so happened he was on the back end of that glory. But he was never egomaniac about it. That's why we're successful. And everybody can do their job. His job just happens to have the limelight on it, but his job is as important as anybody else's job. He just did his job as good as Monroy did his job, as good as Alex did his job, as Leo did his job, Tito did his job, but his job looks like 44 goals at the end. All right? Jefferson. All right, only a couple more left. No, I'm talking too long. I'm sweating up here. We talk about confidence all the time, and as a team, as a group, we had it. And again, we don't win without everything coming together this year. Another player too. He, a freshman, I think he was a striker and a winger, and then it kind of just kept shifting and moving as the years went on. He became an outstanding defensive player. Sophomore year was tough. Junior year, he was trying to figure out how to be perfect. I think that was the issue. He's trying to be perfect. And we don't need perfect out here. We don't ask for perfect. We don't want perfect. It's a myth. We need you to be better. And so this year, it's stuck in his mind, oh, I could do that, right? The guys know. I'm on the sideline all the time. You make a mistake, you don't hear me going, what the hell? You're out. Mistakes happen. It's soccer. I mean, I've never seen a perfect game in my life. So what he learned was, oh, I can make a mistake, and it's all right, we can just keep going, right? And then once that clicked in his mind, it became amazing. He'd make these ridiculous saves and chase down guys and blocking balls with his body, and slide tackles and all this stuff, and all that happened from confidence. And he pulled us out of the fire numerous times. Every time when he tried his best and it just kind of didn't happen. All right, so what? If you try your best, we can't ask for anything more than that, right? So he would give his best. That's all we're asking for. And he did it on a consistent basis. We were playing in a playoff game, and he makes a tackle, takes off, bang. And then hamstring. And I was like, oh no. And he went down, right? He got the sniper, got him. And so thought he was done. Came out, tried to rest him. He's like, coach, no, you can't go back in. His teammates will have to pick him. The teammates, they did their job, they picked him up. Next game after that, same thing. Tight game, coach, I can go in. No. They got you. Just wait. I want you to play in this final. The team did what they were supposed to do. They took care of business. He got to play in his final. He was all in the final, even with the hamstring burning him. And he kept looking at me and I was like, I'm at 80%, I can. But he was not selfish enough to be like, I just want to play. He kept me informed of how much he could do because he did not want to hurt the team. And doing all of that, using all that confidence, and being able to get all the way to the end, again, helped us win the ring. And I like seeing him grow as a player over the years and getting that confidence. And it hit, again, right at the right time for all of us to benefit, him included. Boca.
Don't get shot on the way back.
All right. We only have a few guys left, so they kind of know who they're going to be. But this guy, he came here, and I remember in the first, I feel like the first day, we're doing drills and we're doing things and we're working, and I could see he's seeing stuff, doesn't want to talk. And I was like, look, you play defense, right? Yeah. I go, well, you're going to have to talk. I go, I played the same position. You need to talk. You see something, you say something. You move these guys around. That is your job. End of story. You understand? Move your mouth, make it work, Boom. He hasn't shut up since then, and so we're all paying for it. My fault, but he's a guy who has enormous pressure. If you're a captain for me, it is not an easy job. Ask anybody. I have guys in their 30s that know it is giant pain in the butt because I ask, and I blame you for stuff that's not on you because I can't reach the guy that it's on, so you have to go fix that. And they know that that's the job, and they respond to it. One quick story. This encapsulates who he is. So we're playing a playoff game. We hadn't played in a while. We sat way too long. We go in our first playoff game. We're on the road. I watch within 20 seconds. I'm like, we are better than this team. We should destroy this team. But we're not playing good. Nobody is. Just because we hadn't played. We tried to do practice. We were ready, but just we weren't ready. Because our nerves are up. Ball bounces over his head. I think kind of skips by him. I think once, and I was like, okay. The second time it goes over his head, and I'd never do this. But I was like, he can handle it because I've been here with him for 3 years. I said, hey, one more ball goes over your head, you're sitting. He said, yes, coach. That was it. We were good. Right? He ratcheted down his spot. Everybody did their thing. Boom, boom, boom. We went on, win the game, and we know the rest of it is winning. But he understands I'm going to be harder on him than anybody else. It's part of the job. I've seen him step in. He's learned a very good role. Right before I'm about to go do a thing, he's like, I got it, coach. Walk over there, handle what he has to handle. Oh, thank you. So I can go concentrate on this other thing. Somebody acting a fool, hey, I got it, coach. Boom, go handle it. That's what captain's supposed to do. All right? He saw it as I saw it. Let me handle this so coach can go coach. All right? Took on that responsibility. Me getting mad and saying, hey, you gotta fix this, that, and the other thing. Even though he's like, it's not my fault, but I understand what he means, let me go fix it. All right? That is the responsibility of captain. It's a hard job. And he also is in my class, so I'm in his ear every day about everything, not even soccer stuff. So it's really annoying, I understand that. But he does it, he handles it, and it's been great, fantastic leadership for us. Alex. He has the same birthday as my son too, so I might get it. It might even be worse because of that. They're very similar personalities. So, there you go. I yell at him. Not that I yell at my son, but I yell at him. What's that? All right. No particular order. So this one, I tell the same story. I think I tell all the time. Everybody knows the story. But when I first met him, he was a freshman. He was a small freshman. I thought, I'm not kidding. It's a summer before school started, and they were doing this activity at school. And I really, no kidding, thought someone brought their little brother in to hang out with the freshmen. And I really thought so. And I was like, oh, that's neat. And then they went out and they played this tag game with the officers, and I just happened to be sitting there watching, and they're playing tag. Just tag him. I gotta just touch him. No one can touch him. He just no one can touch him. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So they watch one round of it. I'm like pointing to my buddy, and I'm like, they can't touch him. Go again, can't touch him. I go, please. I go, hey, come here, son. Hey, you play soccer? Yes, sir. Like, hey, do me a favor. You gonna come out for the team? I think so. No, you're coming out for the team. Okay, practice tomorrow. Okay. He brings his stuff, and it was that same energy. So, fast forward, we go play. He makes JV, playing really well, but I'm like, he is not a big dude. I'm not trying to get him killed. And so after the first game, he walks up to me with all the confidence in the world. After he played his JV game, then he walks up to me, and I'm coaching at Taft, and I'm coaching the varsity game. He goes, hey, coach. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the middle of a game. That's cool. He goes, hey, you know what? I think I'm ready for varsity. I'm like, yes, I'm happy you think so. Go home. Right? So send him away. Turns out, I don't know, a few weeks later, we have a couple injuries, and the guys are like, coach, I might want to give him a shot. I go, dude, I don't want him to get killed. They're like, coach, all right. So bring him to Van Nuys. Comes off the bench. The guy on Van Nuys is my side. And I'm like, oh God, his mom's gonna kill me. So I put him out in the field. Guy comes down, takes the ball from him, embarrasses this dude. Guy falls down. Their bench makes a noise. Our bench makes a noise. I went, oh, never mind. I guess we're good. And that was the same effort from that beginning when I first met him to our very last game. I've never seen him not give full effort. I've never seen him not put his body around. I've never seen him. He walks around like he's 6'3", 215 pounds. And like, he just brings it every single time with no fail. It's amazing to watch. I mean, and not just outside of soccer, just his work ethic is my own son, who's now 11 years old. Every time he does anything, mile time, push-ups, sit-ups, he works, and he'll be like, what did Leo get? I'm like, it doesn't matter. That dude's a grown man. Leave him alone. You're 10. You're 11. But he is just obsessed with that dude's work ethic. And I'm like, well, it's a good one to be obsessed with, right? So, as a captain of our team, he does it in a different way. He has a lot of pressure on him too. But everybody leads differently, and he leads by being able to take, quietly get the arm around you and talk nice and smooth, and you feel good about yourself, and you walk off the line. Alex, do the thing I need you to do right now, and that's one thing too, right? So they do, and it's a good counterbalance, right? Alex has learned how to put his arm around somebody, and Leo's also learned how to, be a little tougher. They balance each other out. It's been a good partnership. But it helped us win a championship. He beat up and battered this year too, but he kept coming. He kept coming. Leo. Funny now, a couple days ago, I was standing on the steps right in front of my classroom. I went to go push him like this, and I bounced backwards, and I was like, oh, good Lord. I was like, all right, my bad. I was wrong. All right, we do this, and then we'll do our 3 awards, and then it'll be Tim. Sorry, Tim. Making sure, okay, we got time. This player, again, he was on that team as a freshman. As a matter of fact, I remember the first few practices we had in the summer. He played so well that I actually thought someone had recruited my buddy Julio. I'm like, oh, you recruited this kid to come here? That's crazy. And he's like, I don't know who that kid is. I was like, are you serious? I go, he's fantastic. He goes, yeah, I know, but I didn't bring him here myself. All right, cool. But as a freshman, here you go, you're on varsity. Guys with beards, guys, my size, just trying to just destroy him and kill him. Never stopped. I'll run through that guy, I'll run through this guy, it doesn't really matter. It's okay, I'll take that beating, it's fine. I'll sacrifice, I'll get hit, it's fine. And he did that for 4 years. That is how he puts his body on the line for his team every single minute. One of the cool things about him is that there have been times when I said, hey, look, I need you to play this. No warning, no practice, no nothing. In the middle of the game, just read something, I need this dude shut down, go play center back. Go play left back, go play 6, go play wing, go play whatever. And there's not even he doesn't blink, he doesn't hesitate, there's no, there's this, okay. And he goes back to where it is, and he gives everything he has for as long as he is required. He started the final playing a super defensive, like 6, whatever, okay. And he just did it. As a matter of fact, before that game, because we had played and there was a ball that came through and he should have scored it, he didn't score it. He said, hey coach, I owe you one. I said, okay, cool. He's like, I owe you one. Well, there's only one game, there was a final coming. I owe you. I was like, all right. He cashed it in. Like, he's just one of those guys. I'm going to do the thing. I'm dependable. I'm going to be there for my team. I'm going to bring that energy. And there were times, and there are many games this year, our energy would be at whatever level, and we'd have to wait. And Chris would bring the level up, we'd all move with Chris. And then that was it. He'd bring the violence, he'd bring the whatever needed to be brought, he would bring it, and then we'd all go according to how he went. And no ego, yes, an ego, but he didn't bring it out for us to see on the field. And one of the cool things about him, he became a leader this year in a very unexpected way. He would lead and look out for his teammates, and he did that, and we've discussed that. And it's kind of more of a private thing, so I don't even want him to even know, but the guys know, what he's done for his teammates. But one of the cool things that he's done also is there are moments when he does decide he wants to talk. And when he does, every single time, it's like bringing a sledgehammer. And he's quiet, he says his thing, and it all absorbs. Because he's not just talking to talk, he's not just saying a bunch of words. If he wants to talk, it's time to listen. We need to go do that thing, all right? You need to pick it up, you need to whatever else, and it's just said calmly like this. He doesn't yell about stuff. You need to do this, this, and this. And we go, okay. Because we know if he's saying it, he's going to do it. So we all need to go and match his energy. And that's, again, leads us to being the champions, and all that stuff is all these little pieces coming together. And they're actually really big pieces that come together, right? And so when we made our run at the end, again, road game, 10th seed, which was absolutely ridiculous, and he came out early playoffs, said, look, we need to just do this, have this energy, sacrifice for your group, there's nothing else left, let's just go do this. And we all did, right? And so he showed his leadership in a very calm and controlled way, but also by the example of, I'm going to give sacrifice, so I expect for you to do the same. Chris Manriquez. Yeah, and also he celebrated his championship super early. He's going to first goal and been doing this, and I'm like, oh man, we have a whole game left.
No fans.
Yeah, no fans, just to himself. All right, real quick, so we're gonna do this. All right. Before we get into this, I want to talk. I don't have a slip for you for players, but I do want to make a shout out. And they were teasing earlier, but we have a student who came out and he helped us out, and people think, oh, what was he doing? I go, look, I've had people be a manager for our team for years. I've had people that were in at it, people that were good at it, but I've had people that have come out and at practice, bring waters, bring whatever I need. Hey, go fill these balls up in the middle of practice, go off, no problem, coach. He's friends with the guys, he jokes with the guys, but at the same time he did his job. Right? He did his job. Whatever I asked him to do, he would do it. He'd go get it, bring it, need it, set it up, ready to go, water, whatever the case may be. So he forgot ice one time. All right, relax. Right? But he was always there for them, and I really appreciate Nathan. Come up here. I know, I told him not to bring all the practice. I was like, I'm not doing that. All right, real quick. All right, so I'm gonna go quick, I swear, I promise, I try. I have 3 awards, and they change every year sometimes, but this one is for the toughest player of the year, right? That's weird, because the reason I want to do this is because we had a particularly tough team. There are many, many times where many guys I thought were done for the season because of something that happened to their legs or their body or their head or their shoulder or whatever. And they just kept coming. But it's not just the physical toughness, because I could give that to a lot of guys, all right? It's not just the mental toughness to be able to sit there and go, all right, I have to show up to practice and all this pressure on me. But it's also the toughness to be like, I'm not sure if I can actually do this. I've got work, I've got other things too, and I've got to be here. And so I'm gonna try to be here. And then I'm gonna be here knowing that I have to leave, knowing that I have to go somewhere else, knowing that I have to do the thing, but I have to give my full effort. And coach is gonna get on me about stuff, but I gotta give my full effort. I got these grades that are fantastic, but I have to give these full effort. So I got to be out here and get these grades, but I also have to play this soccer. I also have to be home for my mom, and I got to do it, right? You all have stuff, and that's why I'm going to give this award, because a lot of guys could have earned it this year, but to do that, play sick, play like someone hit him with a tranquilizer dart, and he shouldn't even be at school, but playing. And again, that's like 4 guys, but you put in every single aspect of that and get it together, and then kind of make promises, and then cash in on those promises. That's mental toughness, right? And so the player that's getting this year, Chris Manriquez. All right. This one was also tough, but the separator was this. Defensive Player of the Year. Again, I could give it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. It's like, I really could. But there's a consistency to your work. When you do something consistent, when I put you back there, and it's not, there's no flaws, but there are very few flaws, especially when it's not where you play, right? That's not what you do. It's not what you've done your whole life. People have done this, right? And then all of a sudden I'm like, you're doing it. I don't want to do it. But I don't want to do it, coach. Yeah, but they need to do it. Okay. And then you play it fantastically. Am I playing wing today? Nope. All right. And then you go out and do the second thing you didn't want to do. You do it beautifully. Then you switch to wing. You do that beautifully. Oh, wait, you know what? 15 minutes in, you need to get back in the back. All right, coach. You do it beautifully. You did the playoffs beautifully. And it could be at any moment. Sometimes no warning. But when you do it over and over and over again, something you do not want to do. You didn't show up to this school to go play and do this, but you do it beautifully over and over and over again because your team needs you to do it. That stands out to me. And again, I'm not knocking anybody else. We won a championship because we have guys that can play defense. But when you push somebody in there and say, I need you to do this because they need you to do it, and then you don't just do it and take up time, you do it and excel at it. William, look there. This is kind of a silly award because it's an amazing award, but it's one of the easiest awards I've ever had to give. And a team that was fantastic, and a team that was really, really good, and a team that was really, really tough, sometimes you have a prima donna, right? And we all know, usually the prima donna is a striker, right? Strikers out there is going, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me, love me, love me, love me, look how great I am, right? I've done no work all day long, poking the back of the net, I'm the hero. Difference is, our striker was as tough and as grimy as our backline, as our six, as him, as him, as him, as him. Every single person that's grimy in our team is just like our striker, right? And so he's not just grimy out here just getting ugly goals. He's getting pretty goals. He's getting, outside the box. He's getting tap-ins, all right? But he's setting guys up. But then he's also sacrificing his body. How many times have we seen him fly through and just take a shot because he knows this is going to get us a goal? I'll take the punch. It's okay, guys. I'll take it. Right? So you get the glory, yes. But he didn't just get it just showing up and just poking the ball in. We watched him get punched by goalkeepers, stepped on, kicked, smashed in the back of the leg, guys dragging him down, stomping on his leg, quad all beat up, but still throwing his body around for the team. That's again, a special thing. Because it's not just, here's the goals. It's, what do you mean, I'll throw my body on the line for the team, right? Just like everybody else. Just because I have these numbers doesn't mean that I'm not willing to do what you guys do in the back, what you guys do in the wing, the keeper's throwing around and getting hit in the face, he's doing it too. And that's a special thing. Jefferson.
Thank you.